24 verse number 30. Say to the believing man that he should lower his gaze and guard his modesty. Whenever a man looks at a woman, if any brazen thought, any unashamed thought comes, he should lower his gaze. Once there was a Muslim who was staring at a girl for a long time. I said, brother, what are you doing? It's haram in Islam. He told me, our beloved Prophet said, the first glance is forgiven, the second is prohibited. I have not completed half my glance. That does not mean you look at a woman for 10 minutes without blinking and saying, I have not completed my glance. What the Prophet meant was, if you unintentionally look at a woman, don't look at her again to feast on her beauty. The next verse speaks about the hijab for the woman. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Nur, chapter number 24, verse number 31, say to the believing woman that she should lower her gaze and guard her modesty, and display not her beauty except what appears ordinary of, and draw a head covering over her bosom, and display not her beauty except to her husband, her father, her son, and a list of mahram, the close relatives who she can't marry is given. The basic criteria for hijab as far as the extent is concerned is that for the woman, the complete body should be covered. The only part that can be seen are the face and the hands up to the wrist. And it's mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Ahzab, chapter number 33, verse number 59. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O Prophet, wives and your daughters and the believing women, that when they go abroad, they should put on the jilbab, they should put on the cloak, so that they shall be recognized and they will be prevented from being molested. Quran says, when the believing women, when they go abroad, they should put on the jilbab, the cloak, so that they shall be recognized and will prevent them from being molested. For example, if there are two twin sisters who are very beautiful, who are equally beautiful, and if they are walking down the streets of Dubai, maybe Jumeirah, and one twin sister, she is wearing the Islamic hijab, complete body covered, except for the face and the hands up to the wrist, and the second twin sister, she is wearing the Western clothes, mini skirt or shorts or with a low neck. And if both of them are walking down the streets of Jumeirah, and if round the corner there is a hooligan ready to tease a girl, I am asking you a question, which girl will it tease? Will it tease the girl wearing the Islamic hijab, or will it tease the girl wearing the Western clothes, the mini skirts or short? Which girl will it tease? Which girl? The one wearing mini skirts or short? Quran rightly says that hijab has been prescribed so that to protect the women, to prevent them from being molested. And after this, the Islamic Sharia says, if any man rapes a woman, capital punishment, death penalty. Non-Muslims say, capital punishment, death penalty in this age of science and technology. Islam is a barbaric religion. It's a merciless way of life. I ask these non-Muslims, and I say, that suppose, God forbid, someone rapes your mother, someone rapes your sister, and if the rapist is brought in front of you, what punishment will you give him? And believe me, 100%, all of them said, we will put him to death. If someone rapes your mother, you want to put him to death. Somebody rapes somebody else's mother, you said death penalty is a barbaric law. Why these double standards? You know, today, we look up to America as the most advanced country in the world. Do you know, according to statistics of America, it is one of the countries which has the maximum rapes in the world. As I mentioned earlier, in 1990, according to FBI report, every day 1,756 cases of rape took place. If you see the other statistic, 1996, 6 years later, US Department of Justice, every day 2,713 cases of rape took place. Maybe the American got more bold. Every 32 seconds, one rape is taking place in America, in USA. Every 32 seconds. You know, I have given this lecture for the past 1 hour. Already more than 50 rapes may have taken place in America since the time I am giving the lecture. I am asking you the question that if you implement the Islamic Sharia in USA, and do you know, what do the statistics say? 1990 statistics say, in the full year, in 1990, 102,555 rapes took place. Only 16% were reported. Therefore, the exact number of cases, you multiply by 6.5, you get the reply of 640,968 rapes took place. Per day divided by 365, 1,756. But the report continues. Out of the 16% that were reported, only 10% were arrested. That means 1.6% of the rapists were arrested. Out of those arrested, 50% were let free. That means only 0.8% underwent the trial. 50% were let free before the trial. That means 125 rapes you commit, the chances you'll undergo a trial is 1. You know, very good gamble. 125 girls you rape, and chances you get a punishment is 1. Who wouldn't like to try? And the statistics tell us that the judge said, oh, pehli baar rape kya? First time he's committed rape. Okay, give him only 1 year punishment. More than 50% get 1 year imprisonment, though the law says 7 years rigorous imprisonment. But the judge is lenient. You know, first time he's done. 125 rapes. You get caught once, judge says, you know, first time now. 50% of the cases, he says less than 1 year. I'm asking the question. If you implement the Islamic Sharia in USA, any man looks at a woman, any brazen, any unashamed thought comes, he should lower his gaze. After that, the woman, they should properly be covered, complete body covered except the face and the hands of the wrist can be seen. After that, if any man rapes a woman, capital punishment, death penalty. I'm asking the question, will the rate of rape in USA, will it increase? Will it remain the same or will it decrease? It will decrease. It's a practical law. You implement the Sharia and you get results. That's the reason one of the least rate of crime in any country in the world, it's in Saudi Arabia. Why? You implement the Sharia, you get results. That's the reason I say that Islam, besides speaking good things, it shows you a way how to achieve the good things. So the other religions are more theoretical. Islam is a practical religion. So practically, if you care for humanity, practically, if you really want the evil to be destroyed in this world, you have to accept Islam. The 20th, and the last in my list of the most common questions asked by non-Muslims is that if Islam is the best religion, then why you find most of the terrorists are Muslim, most of the robbers are Muslim, most of the people who cheat are Muslims? Why? If Islam is the best religion, then why do you see that the Muslims are the worst? The reply to this question is that one of the major factors for this impression that all the terrorists are Muslims, the impression that most of the people who cheat are Muslims, the most of the people who bribe are Muslim, is the media. About 5 years back, when I was called in the same organization, Dubai Holy Quran International Award for the second time, on the patronage of Sheikh Muhammad Rashid Maktoum, I had given the talk in my second day, Media and Islam, War or Peace. And I described in detail what is the strategy of the media to malign Islam. And I also gave a talk, Islam, the solution to the problems of humanity. The media says Islam is the problem for humanity. Actually, Islam is the solution for the problems of humanity. That's why the tagline of the Peace TV, the solution for humanity. That means Islam is the solution for humanity. What does the media do? Time will not permit me to give in detail. I'll just wind up my answer in a couple of minutes. What does the media do? Media picks up the black sheep of the community and they portray as though they're exemplary Muslims. See, we have black sheep in the community. We do have many Muslims who are namesake Muslims. They aren't practicing Islam. They pick them up and they portray as though they're exemplary Muslims. Many a time the media, they quote something of the Quran, they quote out of context. Whenever they get information, they malign the Muslims. For example, we know in 1996, the Oklahoma bombing, at that time, it was the biggest attack on American soil. More than 100 people were killed, 166 people were killed. It came as headlines, Middle East conspiracy, Middle East conspiracy. Muslims to blame, Muslims to blame. Headline for days and weeks together. Later on, when they came to know it were two American soldiers, it comes once and vanishes. When they don't know the culprit, it comes for days as headlines. When they come to know the real culprit, 1 or 2 days, the news goes out. Why? In India, we have, 50-year-old Muslim Arab marrying an 18-year-old girl, headlines. When 50-year-old non-Muslim rapes a 6-year-old girl, it comes in news briefs. That 50-year-old Arab Muslim, he's taking permission and marrying a girl with her will, with the will of the parents. It doesn't go down the throat of the media. But when a 50-year-old non-Muslim rapes a 6-year-old girl, it comes in news briefs. Why? Same example, couple of weeks back, there was a bomb blast in Pune, German bakery. 9 people were killed. Suspect, Muslim. Suspect, Suspect. No 100% proof. Same day, the Maoists, they killed 16 policemen. Not civilians. Policemen, Maoist. No. It comes in news brief. Muslim suspect, 9 civilians killed, 16 policemen killed by Maoist. Comes in news briefs. Ajib. They know the people who killed, not civilians. They have got cannons, rocket launchers. They bombard the full police station. Comes in news brief. They don't know who did the Pune bomb blast. Muslim suspect. And it's continuously there for many days. They don't know who did it. Who they know did it because it's a Maoist, communist, non-Muslim, news briefs. Or maybe, front page, some papers, but below. And it vanishes out of the media. So the major cause is the media. Media and Islam, war or peace. Unfortunately, Muslims are very weak in media. Very weak. We may have good media about song channel, dance channel, many. But Islamic channels, unfortunately. So I say, yes, I do know there are black sheep in the community. But yet, with all the black sheep, yet as a whole, the Muslims are the biggest teetotalers in the world. I know some Muslims who can drink the non-Muslim under the table. But as a whole, the biggest community of teetotalers in the world are Muslims. The biggest community as a whole that gives charity, they are Muslims. There is no non-Muslim, no human being in the world who can show a candle to a practicing Muslim as far as modesty is concerned, as far as sobriety is concerned, as far as human values are concerned, as far as ethics are concerned. No human being can show a candle to a practicing Muslim as far as modesty is concerned, as far as sobriety is concerned, as far as human values are concerned, as far as ethics are concerned. And I always give the example. Suppose you want to judge how good a car is, and latest 600 S model of Mercedes is launched in the market, 2010 model. You want to test the car. You put behind the car, behind the steering wheel, a driver who does not know how to drive, and he bangs up the car. He has an accident. Who will you blame? Will you blame the car or the driver? Driver. If you want to know how good the car is, you have to know the specification. What is the pickup? What are the safety measures? What is the ratio? What is the average of the car? Anti-brake locking system. Look at the specification. And really, if you want to test drive the car, put behind the steering wheel an expert driver. If you really want to know about Islam, don't look at the Muslims. Look at the scriptures, the glorious Quran and the Sahih Hadith. Don't look at me. Don't look at the Muslims. If you really want to test drive a car, put behind the steering wheel an expert driver. The best exemplary Muslim you can find is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Read his seerah, you will find he's the best exemplary Muslim and the best exemplary human being that has lived. That's the reason. I say that understand the religion by looking at the scriptures. And when you read the scriptures, the authentic sources, the Quran and Sahih Hadith, you will really appreciate Islam.